So, speaking of the Phillies, you brought up the Phillies, obviously, when they brought Schwarber back. A former Philly who just signed with the Angels, a Canadian, our guy Jordan Romano. They also got Alek Manoah, actually, the Angels. I have a little exercise here, though, going back to Johnny briefly. I
Yeah.
saw you guys posted in 2024 when George Springer just looked dead, honestly. The Giunta Line comes out where he hits 185 in college, and
Yeah.
Springer got within like 3 points of that. And this is again with all good intentions. I look back at your stats.
Yeah.
2017 ERA stands at an 8.36, and Jordan Romano gets to an
Yeah.
8.23. Now the
Wow.
reason I mention this is because look what Springer did in 2025. Maybe that sparked him, right? Like he was incredible last year.
Absolutely.
Are we getting former Canadian or Canadian, former Philly, former Jay? Are we getting the bounce back for Jordan Romano in 2025?
Oh man, if his shoulder works, I would
Yeah.
hope so. I like Jordan Romano a lot, and
Same. Yeah.
he was obviously great for the Blue Jays,
Yeah.
and good for them for identifying. I had heard that his shoulder was kind of cooked when he went through, and they didn't offer him. That was another nostalgia over what's actually going on with these players move when they didn't tender him a contract last year, right? And people like freaked out, but and we don't know what's going on behind the scenes totally. So good for Jordan Romano. I really want him to figure it out there. I mean, he goes to a
Yeah.
pretty big park, so you're hoping that he can find something. But just overall shoulder health is probably what was going on with this year too. And then you have a stinker of a year in Philly. I can't think of a worse place to play if the fans hate you and you're a relief pitcher
Oh man.
Yeah.
than
That's
obviously the
bad.
Yankees would be
Yeah.
just as bad. But yeah, I think Philly's pretty much the worst place in the country to be if you're not pitching well.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And I always loved Romano as well. Again, Toronto guy. He's from I think Markham, right? So really close. But there was just something so infuriating about him just throwing like 95-mile-an-hour fastballs just down the middle. And I don't know, he would like load the bases with a couple of outs and just make it so stressful. So I love the guy. And even with Manoah, I think we actually talked about on this podcast that at the end of the season when the Jays looked like they were going to have the division secured wasn't the case. It took to the last day, right, to tie with the Yankees and they had the tiebreaker. But we were saying that if they had already the tiebreaker by the Sunday, do you call up Alek Manoah and just throw him out there on the last day? And then what do you know? He's DFA'd and he goes to the Braves. So does he have a bounce back with the Angels maybe?
It's it's gonna be interesting. Like I wouldn't. The Angels aren't a good spot for this pitching.
Yeah.
Making these big pitching changes too. But I think it was more of the Manoa thing was more obviously the arm wasn't fresh or good to where he was pre-injuries, but just kind of how the organization felt about him. Like I don't think it was this best teammate in the world. The
Yeah, true.
not taking the demotion well. I think not like just not even showing up to AAA that one year.
Yeah.
Really just made things awful. And yeah, he comes back. The numbers weren't great, and I was surprised they cut ties so quick with a team that's kind of thin, like depth wise. But you had to make that decision. You had the options, I still think too, but they were fine to get out of there. I think. Oh man, 'cause I just got no idea what shape these guys' arms are in,
Yeah.
and you like it's how hurt are they? Do they have any juice left? This will be interesting. I will say. Romano has a 4 ERA next year. We
Okay.
cut it in half. We do that.
There we go.